When Amy grew up, she envisioned herself to be a movie star, circus clown, or a daredevil. Ooh! She dreams of the day when she can float through the clouds in a hot air balloon or jump through time in a magic phone booth. But for now, her feet are firmly planted on the ground, raising her 2 kids, 2 dogs, and a wild imagination. Please welcome Amy Roberts as she presents A Promise, 5 to 7 minutes.
Readjust. Thank you. When I was 17 years old, I was part of a youth backpacking group. As this group, we took several trips across our beautiful state. We climbed Kings Peak, where I don't know if you're aware of this, you can look over into Wyoming and you can see the entire state, or at least as much until it dips below the horizon. Sorry, flat earthers. I can prove there's a curvature to the earth, and you can too if you just go and stand at the top of Kings Peak. We hiked through the Uintas. How many of you guys have been through the Uintas? Have you experienced the fields of wildflowers shaped like elephants?
Oh, shaped like elephant.
Have you not seen those?
Yeah.
Okay, think Dumbo. When he gets into the rum in the circus, you know, pink elephants on parade.
Mhm.
Think those stalks of these flowers, ears, and a trunk. Google them. They're there. We saw the most spectacular places in the state. Places that I can't wait to go back to, that I admit I haven't been back to since. So I'm going to take you guys on a journey with me. I'm going to take you with me on one of these hikes. How many of you have been to Coyote Gulch in southern Utah?
What is it?
Coyote Gulch?
Coyote.
This is a real treasure in the state. You go down, park in a sandy, nondescript parking lot off of BLM 200. That tells you it's in the middle of nowhere, BLM 200. Just outside of Glen Canyon. You're looking out, there is nothing. Okay, you're in the desert, no man's land. All you see are rocks and sand and sagebrush. The only living creatures are those ginormous black beetles. You know the ones I'm talking about?
Sounds
And those little tiny lizards. And they scurry out of there. They don't want to be in your way, so they move out of the way. Well, you're walking through sand, and there's this phenomenon that happens with sand. I don't know about you guys, but it seems like a magic trick. No matter how much room or little room you have in your shoes, that sand is going to get in there. It's like Mary Poppins' carpet bag. Every nook and cranny, more sand than you can imagine, gets into your shoes. And just when you think there's not enough room to wiggle your toes, you shift your foot just right, and more sand piles into your shoes. Anyone experience this?
Doesn't sound fun.
Before you know it, you feel like you are walking through the desert with sand bags on your feet, and they are heavy. It takes what is a mile feel like 10 miles when you walk with your shoes full of sand. As you're walking through on this hike, lost my place. Sorry. You're going through. You're following the rock currents, so you know you're on your right way. But nothing is changing. There are no trees. There's no shade. The sagebrush is scratching at your legs. The sun is beating down on your neck. And you're starting to sweat, and your pack is getting heavy. You might have every reason to quit, to turn around. You're hot, you're tired, your feet weigh 100 pounds. But you have been promised something spectacular. Somebody has said to you, you need to see this place. I promise it will be worth it. So you keep going. And then all of a sudden, as if by accident, the ground just opens up in front of you. Where you were standing just 20 feet back, the landscape is the same. But you walk up and then all of a sudden, 5 feet ahead of you, everything is different. You still see the mountains in the distance, you still see the rocks and the sagebrush, they're still there. But as you tilt your eyes down, below the black and yellow sandstone, you see trees. You see wildflowers. You see natural sandstone arches you see the most amazing oasis. 200-foot climb down into Coyote Gulch. As you make that descent, you feel the air cool. You can hear the bees buzz. You can hear the birds chirp. You can smell the wildflowers and the damp earth as it dances on the breeze. You could have given up. It was not easy to get there. You could have turned around. You could have quit. You could have said, you know what? It's hot out here. I'd rather stay at home on my couch. But you were promised that if you put in the work, you could do it. So think about that for just one moment. As adults, how often do we say, if you put your mind to it, you can do it? Has anybody ever said that to a child? When you say that to a child, do you believe that they can achieve anything that they want to happen? You're encouraging them. You're telling them. You're promising them that if they put in the work, they will see the rewards. You're not telling them if they stay home on their couch and grow up and live in mom's basement, they're going to be millionaires. No. We're encouraging them to get out and improve themselves and do the hard work so that they can see the beauty in the world. Norman Pearl said, "There is nothing worth doing unless we are willing to put in the effort. We can only be or do what we believe we can be or do." So as you move forward, as you move on, think about how not only do we try to inspire our youth and our children to do better, to do greater, but we also do that for ourselves. We set our own goals. We set our own destinations. We set our own standard, that which we want to achieve. And we can only do that by creating a dream and then doing the work that it takes to get there. So thank you for going on this journey with me. I hope I lived up to my promise that it would be spectacular. And if you ever get the chance, take that trip to Coyote Gulch. It will be worth it. Thank you, Madam Secretary.